halfway to Halloween, baby. Let's talk spooky season 2026. Let's set my little boo right here. It's getting me in the mood. I don't know about you. It's officially halfway to Halloween. We've not done a halfway to Halloween. I don't have a mantle or anything to decorate with. And honestly, I want to save the decorating. We got a little bit going on here. I want to give you a little something else. We're going to talk about, I've saved like a number of things. There's not a lot of drops going on right now. We will talk about the drops that have happened that are Halloween, whether they're out there or they're just like teasers and stuff. But I'm really just going to be focusing on the ones like the pieces or the items that are interesting to me. I can't pretend to be excited about stuff I'm not excited about. Welcome to my channel. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about what we saw last year, shops that normally drop stuff, what we liked, what we didn't like, and by we I mean me. But I would like your thoughts and down belows, and also what I want to see, and maybe a little bit of plans this year. But let's get started with. I'm going to give you, let's go over, like, I've got a Pinterest board here, so I'm going to have my phone with me, but I have been saving some things that I feel like if you want to get in the spooky season spirit now, because it's going to come up fast. If you don't remember, things drop typically in July, but I think last year it dropped in June. Wasn't it June? I don't think we hit May yet. That's next level crazy, but I'm down for crazy, okay? So I think I know of... And maybe by the time this video is out, there could be more, but I know of at least 3 stores that have dropped their Halloween line or let us know what their Halloween line will be. And I'm pretty sure it's Lowe's, Home Depot. I definitely have one of the 2. I can't remember which this is. And then Hallmark. And I'll be honest, there's not like, I'm not opposed to like spooky ornaments, but if you've been following this channel for a while, you'll know I'm not a huge Hallmark fan when it comes to their ornaments, so I'm not really going to cover anything in that line. Let's talk about what I did find cool, and which place is this? Ooh, that's pretty. I shouldn't go to Pinterest. I get like cool, I'll never do that orangey, but like a full orange ambiance. Okay, so Home Depot dropped a line, and I know at least I can't. She's going to the bathroom. It's a little distracting. Well, prepare to be entertained with that. I'm just looking over at my cat going to the bathroom. But when it comes to Home Depot and Lowe's, you'll notice I don't really cover them too much. And that is because mostly I live in an HOA. I live in a condo that has an HOA, and I don't have a lot of space outside, and they have since limited, there's a celebration after we go to the bathroom here. We have been more limited, and I'm revolting and saying I'm just not decorating. There's just no room, and most of what Lowe's and Home Depot do are animatronics, and a lot of them are pretty decent size animatronic, but I do want to cover a few that I did like. So there was this headless horseman one that really, the ones that I thought were cool in their new line are very Haunted Mansion, very Haunted Mansion themed. Like I feel like you could either not actually license that, but I feel like you could use them for Haunted Mansion vibes. So we've got the Headless Horseman on, I was going to say a bony pony. Kind of, just a skeletal horse situation. Although he doesn't have a jack-o'-lantern, he's got a skull in his hand. And so there's that. And then you got the regular bony pony. I think the only time I would use that is if I got the, what are we calling this? A hearse. Yeah, but it's more of like a old school hearse. Yeah, but I just mean like, you know, not gas powered. But yeah, I felt like the hearse, I mean, maybe also they're shooting it in front of a building that looks kind of Haunted Mansion-esque. So I feel like they're going for it without having to have, you know, up the cost of the licensing that would add to that. But yeah, I really dug it because it gave me that vibe. And then the horse, I've seen them like put it with it. You could put those together and have a whole scene, but you need to have like a proper yard, and we do not have that. But those were really the things. Like there were some cool ones, and I do find animatronics cool, and you know, we will go to like Spirit Halloween and press all the buttons and stuff. I don't get spooked easy, but it is fun to see what all they do. But maybe one day in the future we have a piece of land, but that's really all I found from those lines. And these are just like random all over the place, because honestly, The spooky things that I find are all year-round pieces. So they're shops, places that you can just get all year round and work for spooky season. So when I think of Halloween, I really do think of like jack-o'-lanterns and stuff like that. So, or just when places do drop things. The other one, and we've got some things in here that are maybe aren't new. I wanted to cover stuff that like I didn't see when it was out. I definitely saw this, but I didn't see it online. We have this in black, and I'm pretty sure it was from Cracker Barrel. It is a wraith, but I'm looking at the white one, which I think would be really cool, depending on like the vibe you're going for. Maybe it probably won't be fitting into the theme we're planning on doing this year. That will be a later announcement, but maybe like more of a ghostly vibe, or just like I'd say probably more ghostly would be really cool. So I like that it would, especially with the black walls, it would pop really well. But that was that. But also Home Goods came out with those too in various sizes. So I'm curious to see. We'll get to that. And then, I don't know, if you just want to get yourself prepped, this is not new. It's from Lively Ghosts. I have a typical, your classic orange jack-o'-lantern mug, but they also have a black and white one. I really like it, and especially with the vibe we're going with. If you're going classic Halloween, then just do the jack-o'-lantern. But we're trying to cover all bases here. We've got the outside. We got like, I don't know if that I have clothing. And then I was lurking Target. Target isn't one to drop things right away, but I did see this gothic urn. You might see a video coming up in the next week, a little touch of urn in that video, but slight obsession there. But it's not super detailed, but I felt like for Target, and honestly, I'm not sure if it's actually from Target. I didn't check that because, you know, they got all these other places that sell on their site. But it felt like something more out of Home Goods, but it looks like it's like a cookie jar or something. And I don't know, if you're going for like a graveyard vibe, I feel like an urn would be really cool, and then it's useful too. And then I found this one. It's getting into the realm of like, I'm not going to buy it because I don't have the space, but it's really cool because I grew up in the 90s, and Ghostbusters was one of the spooky movies to watch, and Spirit Halloween has the terror dog life size. It's basically the dog in Ghostbusters, and I feel like it looks pretty cool. There are some new things with Spirit Halloween. We'll talk about it. I've got a few kind of saved, but they're going to be more for the, what are we calling it? The dungeon now? The downstairs where the Pop Marty businesses are, and the cutesy dark things that we'll be doing more, and kind of, I was going to say upgrading, dark grading that space. But I found some things on Spirit Halloween that I think will fit down there. But lastly, really, I found a number of jack-o'-lantern-y things, because what speaks more to Halloween than a jack-o'-lantern? I saw that, now I already have a purse that is a jack-o'-lantern purse from Spirit Halloween, and because it's from Spirit Halloween, it's quite affordable, but I saw that Killstar dropped a really more detailed jack-o'-lantern purse, like an all-black vibe. Might be tempted. I'm only holding right now because I do have a jack-o'-lantern purse, but I like the detail of it. I like that it has a little bit of shape. So if you're just trying to get in the mood and want to add something to your outfit, I feel like that would be cool. We're all over the place here, but if you also want to add to your outfit, where's this from? I have seen this some time ago, but I've shown a couple items from this shop, and it is Creepsville. I think it's Creepsville 666 is the actual full name of the shop, but they have a jack-o'-lantern belt, and it actually like clips in the front and like makes the jack-o'-lantern, and the jack-o'-lantern is like a silver piece while the rest is black, so it really pops. I think that would be cool. You could go for a full jack-o'-lantern vibe. There's a lot out there. And then I think this is Lively Ghosts. If you're going for, I put both of these in here, and I might be tempted to get one of them. I have one too many umbrellas. I have three. Really, you don't need that many umbrellas. Even living here in the Portland, Oregon area, but I thought these were really cool because they have like the classic orange and black vibe, but the more pointed, almost like a Tim Burton-esque. Hopefully you're not hearing my cat. Vibe with the you know, shape of it. And then they have a black and white one. So if you're going more black and white, we got both going on here. Then you got both options. And Lively Ghosts, if I remember right, they also dropped some Halloween things. I'm pretty sure it's Lively Ghosts that has the jack-o'-lantern basket, if I'm right. We'll cover we'll cover what we're going to cover. Oh, and then Creepsville has these. I was looking for just straight up classic Halloween. They have this Halloween queen like hair clips that I think are cute. They're black and orange. And oh, what did I found? I was watching a video of somebody going to a convention that I probably won't go to because I would just feel too uncomfortable. But anyway, I like seeing and being exposed to more shops. That is something that I want to do more this year. And we've definitely done more of, like with the decorating and all of the changes we've made in this space, is exploring more small businesses and handcrafted artisan pieces. I'd like to dabble in that a lot more for Halloween. We will be doing the Home Goods and the Michaels. I think I was thinking Joanne, the Michaels, and all of those places. But I want to incorporate small business a lot more. And I saw House of Hex. I have not ordered from them, but if you want a jack-o'-lantern vibe and you have yourself a furry friend, particularly of the cat variety, they have a little jack-o'-lantern house cat scratcher, and that was cute. And I don't know, these are all just things that I'm eyeing. I found a couple like coffin shaped things. We can put them over here. We've got like a really cool, also from Creepsville, coffin shaped like RIP. Might actually buy this. I really don't have a need for it. I do have a lunch bag, or what do you call it? A cooler. But I thought it was really cool because it also it's in the shape of it. It's a usable item, but it has these like green drips on the side. I think it's like where the zipper is. That was really cool. And then I found this Creepsville RIP. I love things that are coffin. I'd like to get like a full size like coffin bookshelf too, but they have a mug. It might be bordering, I wouldn't drink out of it because of the shape, but I thought it was cute. And then we're just real random here. The last thing I'm going to show you is I do want to do a little bit in the bedroom. This is probably not going to be the theme for that bedroom. This is probably not going to be what I would get for this year's theme. But I love me a spider and a spider web. And what is the name of this shop? I forget it because I've seen it before. Sin in Linen. They have really cool linens, like that is their main focus. And I just noticed they have a spider web, sheet set, and pillowcases. Again, I feel like that's really all year round, but not a bad way to get yourself into the spooky season. So I don't know. Those are a few things that I'm eyeing. Nothing really has dropped that has been like, I need to cover this full line sort of thing. But when it does, I will be out and about. It gets real intense. Okay, spooky season, and she is coming up fast. We got like a couple months away. Okay, let's cover like what stores are we used to seeing, because I will be going out to them. I mean, there have been like, I think over the years, a couple that I'm like, do I need to go back to that? I'm always curious, and I like just being surrounded by Halloween, even if like the majority of it, Home Goods, a lot of it isn't for me because like I love Home Goods. If you watched last year, it was probably where I bought most of the things that I really liked, and at really good prices, but they have so much stuff and it's like all over the place in like the style and all of that. But I still, even if it's not my jam, I like being around Halloween. Like, so we have like, and let me know in the comments if I'm missing any places, but we got your Home Depot and Lowe's, which are normally the later places, and they're not normally my top places because they tend to be more outdoorsy type of stuff. And then I'm going to add Target in the list. It's not an outdoorsy place, but if you notice in previous years, it's not really outside of the, what is that line called? I guess a Hearth and Home, I think is the name of the line, the Magnolia Hearth and Home line. I call it the sort of adulty line. If this camera moves, it's because she's knocked it. Do you want to be up here? You do? Okay, go over there then. Okay, just please sort yourself out. That is, man, come here. Come here. I know it's exciting. There's a cool ambiance. Come here, buddy. It emerges. Hi, buddy. Anyway, and I'm pretty sure the Hearth and Home, like Magnolia line, actually comes out before the Do you remember the name? Because I don't remember the name. Hide and Eek. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the whole line is the Hide and Eek line. I feel like for the Hide and Eek line, I tend to get really basic things. I almost always get a reusable bag. There's normally at least one. I like to add, stock up on those. They're not like the biggest, but they're normally fairly cheap. Well, like $4, but what else do we get there? Because we don't even stock up on like the spider webby type stuff that they have because there's more affordable places to get that. Sometimes I have some jack-o'-lanterns. I don't know. It's normally a miss for me, but I do go there. We find like good spooky food and things like that. But it's really the Hearth and Home line that I'm really excited for. That's both Halloween and Christmas. But so yeah, so we've got that. And then of course we have your Home Goods and your TJ Maxx. Ross is never my jam, okay? Some part of me is like, do we even bother? I might just because I want to start exploring the t-shirts a little bit more because I know there's some cool t-shirts and maybe during that season, I think there's going to be an uptick of that, one would imagine. But everything else, especially Ross, like, I don't know. I just like, I walk in there and it feels like, are you even selling anything? It's like very, it feels like an afterthought of a store. I think that's the way I want to put it. Is it TJ Maxx? Yeah, it's TJ Maxx that I would probably put after Home Goods. Home Goods is normally my jam. Then we've got Michael's, but I'll rattle off, we have your Anthropology, you got your higher end stuff. And what else? Of course, Cracker Barrel. We don't have a Cracker Barrel. I know some of you have commented on those previous videos of like, because there are some exclusive items that are in the store, not online. Not one near us. So we are just stuck to the online business. World Market's also been a bit of a miss. Wouldn't you agree? Like we've gotten some glasses, but honestly, I feel like the quality is kind of a little bit more subpar because I do think they have some cool things in their furniture and their lighting and stuff like that. But when they drop the seasonal stuff, it's like, oh, there is a good bit of it and they have a nice chunky section, but it's not as interesting. So we'll get into the like hopes and dreams section here in a bit. And then we've got your Bath and Body Works and your Lush, Hot Top. I'm going to include Hot Topic and Box Lunch because there are some, they tend to be more licensed things or just in Hot Topic, like the horror stuff. I'm always loving that, but that's just all year round. Barnes & Noble, we're going to be going to all of those places. But like I said, we're going to do some small shops too. So that's like what we're used to dropping. And it's really Home Goods that drops first, I feel like. And they're always putting stuff out. That's probably why it's also my favorite. And I just find like all year round pieces. But that's really Halloween season for me is like we find and we will be looking for things that are on theme for the theme we're going for this year. But if we find other goods that would fit into future years, oh God, this is making me nervous. I'm going to buy them. I'm not going to miss out on that. Okay. Just a nightmare. Alrighty, so let's talk about like what did we like about last year? About last year's line, because I did go back in my footage, and what did we not like? So do let me know your thoughts and what you liked and what you didn't like. I definitely, and maybe we'll roll a little bit of a clip or two here, but Michael's dropped like 5 lines. They normally drop 1 or 2 lines really early on. One of them tends to be, I don't know. Look, I don't want to hate on things. I will say it's just not my jam, but pastels are not my jam. I think it was a full-on pink line is not my jam. It's just not what I think of for Halloween. And like, do you see me wearing or using any of that? To me, thinks not. So I'm happy if it's other people's. Maybe drop it at the rest of the year. Give me the dark and spooky things, please. That's Halloween season to me. It's why you also won't see Summerween here. We just don't do it. It's not my jam. If we did, it'd be dark. And I have some ideas. So I wouldn't say we won't completely do it, but we will not be doing things. If you notice from this channel, I don't do things the way other people do it. That sounded very egocentric. I just do whatever is exciting to me. So, but I wanted to mention, and I think all of you enjoyed this line. It was the Dead Regency line at Michael's was my favorite. So they had something like something moon, and that one was, and those were dropped at the same time, and there were some pieces in there that I liked, but the Dead Regency line was, especially if I were going for a Haunted Mansion vibe that year, a lot of cool pieces. We bought a lot of pieces from there. I still wish places like Michael's didn't price things the way that they did, because I don't feel like, especially for more of the, well, most of the pieces, the ceramics, and what are those? I guess probably resin pieces. They tend to lack a little detail on the paint job, especially, and their prices, they're just like Joanne. I hope we learn a lesson there, but otherwise there were a lot of things that I really like that I'm just using all year round. So I am excited. I hope to not see so much in the AI, and I really want to only sell a couple pieces. No, that's a lie. I think we saw a few, but I'm excited to see what they drop. And I feel like I have to look back and see what else I got. But as far as like my favorite piece that I got last year is probably the Witch and the Cat from Cracker Barrel. I don't think I had ever bought a Cracker Barrel piece, and it was one that was out in previous years, but she's in my witchy studio, and it's just an all year round piece, and I love it. And then I really enjoyed the Halloween line in the Hearth and Home section at Target last year. It was not your classic Halloween. It was more of a deep burgundy sort of line, skulls and spiders and gold. And we did show that off. Did we show it off? If not, that is going to be a video, because I definitely bought a lot of pieces, and it will be very much in line with the theme that we are doing this year. I'm really excited. Right, in my section of the could do withouts, but seem to be occurring every year, the pastels and the pinks. This is just me. This is just my personal preference. I'm not hating on anybody that enjoys this stuff, but I am hating on the places that drop them. Anyway, the pastels and the pinks and the disco balls. Please, we don't need the disco balls. It's not Halloween. And the skeletons in various poses. We get the yoga skeletons all the time, but like, why do we need them on toilets? Why do we need them? Like, so many more cooler pieces could be in place of it, that it just feels like they just pick this thing and they're like, oh, I'm just gonna do like 5 to 6 variations of it and call it a section and not really care. I don't know. It's not for me. I just tend to skip over those, so I could do without. Now, what do I want to see this year? And let me know what you want to see this year, whether it could be more of something last year or what you didn't see last year. First off, let's talk about like Bath and Body. For places like Lush, well, actually Bath & Body Works normally comes out first. Bath & Body Works really did not drop a Halloween line this past year. They did a like Summerween line, and it was kind of small. Like the Candy Apple Cauldron line was really small. We didn't get it in the sprays and all the things. Maybe it's for the best, because you guys, I gotta really burn through those things. I have a lot and really no reason to buy anything. I'm probably gonna be aiming more for candles because I'm getting better at burning them. We're not quite there, but I might not go too crazy, but we will be going, and I will show you as long as they drop a line. But that's what I would like to see, is like a proper Halloween line this year. I don't know why. Maybe I'm kind of hoping it didn't do well. Well, not the Summerween line, but just like not having a proper Halloween line. I don't know why that was the choice, or they felt like that's what I want to see. Whatever. We won't go on about that. And then 2 brands that I was kind of surprised didn't really do much in the way of Halloween are Killstar and Disturbia. I know they have in previous years, whether it's just in-your-face Halloween, jack-o'-lanterns, skeletons, because they do some of that stuff all year round, not really jack-o'-lanterns, but also like collabs, like, or licensed things for like Scream, or like your typical, or Halloween itself, like your typical horror movies that we, at least I do, always come back to in watching. I was hoping for a line like that, or 2, and there was not. So I would really like to see that. I feel like I saw almost nothing from Disturbia. If there was, please let me know. I would love to know what those pieces were of last year, but they're some of my favorite places when it comes to like clothing and even homeware. I get some really cool pieces. I mean, the freaking skull that we got over here is from Killstar. I love it so much. Went on clearance after I bought it. Rude. So I'd love to see that. And as you might see in past videos and the one coming up, is I have a slight obsession with the brand that is Black & Teeth. I would love to see, because I've not really been, they were on my radar, but it wasn't only this year that I really looked at everything they had and became super obsessed and bought a whole bunch of it. I'd love to see what they do for Halloween. I hope they do something Halloween related, like whether it's, I think they can do some really cool Headless Horseman pieces, obviously jack-o'-lantern-y vibes. They already do like bats and stuff like that, but I think more Halloween, like Dracula, like a cool Dracula piece, like wall piece would be really cool. So I'm kind of curious. Those are places I'm going to keep my eye out, and we will definitely be highlighting those and not just like going into the stores. We're going to do online shops too. Oh, and then going back to Bath and Body Works, Lush, which tends to come out later, and they do drop bath bombs and soaps and things like that. But I feel like there's like 4 to 5 soaps and bath bombs that they just do every year, and I want to see more variety. And on top of that, they do a countdown to Halloween. Good God, can we see some Halloween advent calendars, please? Advent season is such a thing. We did do it, which is no longer on the channel. If I found cool things that fit the spooky vibe, we will be doing that, but that's a Christmas season. I would love to see like countdown to Halloween calendars that are not hot garbage. And Lush normally does have like, I think it's like a 12-day or a 6-day or something like that, but they've not come out with a new one. I would love to see some new bath bombs and soaps, or even just cool like body lotions or liquid soaps that are cool, like spooky scent, or even do like a nice theme, like a graveyard vibe kind of thing would be cool. I'd like to see just like more creativity and more expansion of the things that they already do and not like same. And then some of my favorite pieces, I take it back. I really liked the cat and the witch piece, but one of my favorite pieces, actually, let's pull it out. It's right in here, isn't it? Probably my favorite piece that I got at all, but was from Home Goods, is this one right here. I'm going to try and not capture like my lighting situation. It's that big skull mirror, like a brassy color. And it was it is a Christian Siriano piece. I think it's Siriano. And when I look back at the pieces that I got from Home Goods, and I think TJ Maxx, did I get anything there? Probably. It was predominantly Christian Siriano and Martha Stewart. Martha Stewart really is just like, she kind of covers all the bases of style, but she had some good like goth type things. Like, I was going to say more adulty, like, I forget what I got, but the Christian Siriano pieces, I feel like Christian Siriano actually has more of a style and brand. If I see something by him, I'm probably going to like it. So, and I already regret a piece that I did not buy. If you remember, when we got, I think it's when I got this mirror, I think it was, we saw another mirror, and it was like a gold cathedral mirror with skulls on the bottom, and I think there were like bats in the corner at the top too. Kind of wish I got it. I feel like now, having done what we've done with the paint and changing everything up, it would look cool on the wall. It would pop. But I'd not be mad at more mirrors by Christian Siriano. But he also dropped, I think there were like a lot of different candlestick holders. Most everything I saw, even the Christmas line, but we're not in that headspace right now. We're so cool. So I am excited to see what more, I'll say Martha Stewart too drops, but mainly Christian Siriano drops. So some more random things that I would like to see. Obviously, I'm probably this is like what I'm going to be looking for. I'm mainly going to be looking for the theme that is yet to be announced. We will save that to closer to Halloween season, probably before we go shopping. So you know what I'm looking for, even though I'll be looking at all the things and probably getting other things too. I'll still be looking for like your classic stuff, your cauldrons, because now I've grabbed a number of my cauldrons from upstairs and they're down here, and I need more cauldrons. You can never have too many cauldrons, but if you remember when we did the bookshelves, like the one over here, there was a really cool cast iron bat cauldron that I got from Home Goods yet again. And I'd love to see more pieces like that, so they are not just the basic ones. Like Michael's always has a classic, almost all black basic Halloween line, just basics that you can use all year round, including Halloween. And there's some pieces in there that I kind of want to get that I didn't get in the past, like the glass coffins. I think they'd be really cool now that we have these bookshelves to either display or maybe even have jewelry in there. So they'll probably bring them back, but I'll be looking at stuff like that. But I'm really excited to see more of like a higher quality, different take like we found with that bat cauldron. And then if you remember, because I did a bit of decluttering, I had gotten this like statue lion piece from Home Goods because this was back when I was going to do a Gryffindor themed room. Glad we didn't go forward on that. This is much more my vibe, even though I am a brave at heart girl. Anyway, I'd gotten this lion statue and it was really cool. It doesn't really fit the vibe anymore of the house, but I would love to see more statues that are of the Gothic vibe. Like bring on the gargoyles, please. Bring on the it's like pedestals, like more of like a Roman pedestal kind of thing. That would be cool to see at Home Goods because their pricing's not too bad. They can range between like $50 and $100 for those. And at least for the lion, it was a pretty hefty piece. So I would like to see stuff like that. I would have it. That's where I would do something outside, like around the door. We could do that. But I'd even have them inside. So I'd like to see stuff. I'd like to see stuff like that. And these are more specifics. Now, these are not like on par with the theme that we'll be doing, but I was looking for, when I was doing these shelves, I was looking for an Edgar Allan Poe bust. And I feel like Edgar Allan Poe is almost always brought out during Halloween season, especially at Michael's, but they did do one small bust that was neat looking and actually not too bad in the paint job area. I feel like it was this half zombie Edgar Allan Poe, if I remember right. But a lot of the other Edgar Allan Poe busts that I see even now aren't quite what I want. But I'd love to have that. I don't know. That's really specific. He's one of my favorite authors, and I wouldn't mind having that as an all-year-round piece. I want more busts in general, like really cool busts. And they do tend to drop the hipster busts. Like, let's make a Frankenstein. Is it Frankenstein? I don't know, a zombie with glasses or something like that. Or they make them like bedazzled glasses. Like, can we just keep it more Gothic? Because that's just my jam. So just do what I want. You know what I mean? And then other things that we get a lot are frames. And you would have seen a number of frames. We got a really cool bat frame. That was from Michael's. I think that's up in the bathroom, the like Haunted Mansion bathroom. So I'm sure we'll come across some frames that are cool and only dropping Halloween season. And the other thing, this might seem really random, especially as I've not had a lot of time these days. Literally, the overtime has been intense, you guys. Like, no time for anything. We'll get into that in a vlog. But like, one of my favorite things to do in my free time, or one of my favorite things to do that's really relaxing for me, are put together puzzles. And as of right now, I've got a couple cool puzzles. I've shown you guys 2 of them from an Etsy shop, but predominantly most of my puzzles are Harry Potter, and I'm probably going to downgrade those significantly again. And I want more spooky puzzles. And places like Home Goods do drop spooky puzzles, but they tend to be like country. I'm not trying to shame here, okay? These are my vibes. If you're here on this channel, maybe you vibe with my vibes. So that's all I'm putting out, is this is what I want to see, but it's not my jam. I don't really go for the farmhouse, like, yeah, cowboy hat kind of, and I felt like that's where the puzzles that I saw last year. I want more just like, it could even be classic Halloween. It doesn't have to be the theme. Like, a puzzle's like an all year round thing, just like spooky. There's this one puzzle on Amazon that I've just been wanting to get for a long time, and it's just like a full on horror movie puzzle. It's like I think there's like a child or something looking at a TV where it is, what is that friggin', where the person comes out of the TV? The Ring. And then there's like, there's just every movie under the sun as like a poster. I would like to get that, but I'd like to see more stuff like that in the stores, because also the prices tend to be pretty good, and I'd put them together all year round. I mean, also, we've basically covered that I'm doing a lot with these walls in this house. So just more cool all year round wall pieces I would like to see from wherever they are. But yeah, that is what I'm seeing out there, what I really want to see, what's getting me in the mood. if you've spotted anything that looks really cool, and especially if you think it's going to be my vibe, and also take your guesses of what you think the theme is going to be this year. It'll be a hot minute before we get to that, but I would love to know. Send me all of that in the down below. But until next time, stay spooky, get excited. We will be going out, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.